My 28F husband, 33M, is cheating on me and regrets having our daughter. My husband of 2 years and I have a 3-month-old daughter. When I first told him that I was pregnant, he wasn't very happy. He freaked out a little actually. He told me he needed time and we actually spent some time apart for a few weeks until he finally came around to the thought of being a father, and everything went smooth from then on. However, for a while now he's been acting sus, like working late, not wanting to be intimate with me and barely spending time with our daughter. It's coming to a point where I feel like a single parent. In the middle of the night when my husband was asleep, I went through his phone. Yes, I know snooping is bad, and I found text messages from a woman who has sent him nude photos. They flirt and they've had conversations about me and our daughter. My husband texted her things like how he regrets marrying me, he feels trapped, and that he should have pushed for me to have an abortion because now his life is ruined, plus a bunch of other nasty things about me. Couldn't look at any more of the messages because it made me physically sick. I loved and trusted him, and now he has done this to me and is hurting our daughter in the process. I haven't confronted him because I'm not prepared for the fight that I know is bound to happen. I feel too weak to leave him and embarrassed that my husband doesn't think I'm good enough for him. I need advice on how to properly handle this because I feel lost. This happened to me. We were in our 30s, baby was planned, and he reacted the same way. Found out he was cheating when our kid was 3. Best thing to do is get all your ducks in a row and then serve him with divorce papers. If he wants his freedom, give it to him. Make sure he pays child support though. Your daughter deserves that much from him. Move on, he's not going to get any better. My ex is still off in his dream world. He wanted to be single, and is totally miserable doing so. I've moved on and have a nice happy family with a man who wants what we have. Don't try to change your husband. He is who he is, and that isn't what you or your daughter need. The sooner you do this and let him go, the sooner you all can move on with your lives and find what you do need. Let his side piece deal with his midlife crisis. You've got mom stuff to do. Hang in there, you can do this. You deserve better. You will be amazed how much easier it is to be a single mom than it is taking care of your child and dealing with his crap. So much easier. Why do you think this will end in a fight? Isn't that wasted energy? What do you think you'll gain from confronting him, that you don't already know? Some name calling as revenge? You know what he did, what he feels like. There's no need for a discussion, talking, or a fight. There's no future with him. Even if you feel too weak to leave, that's still what you're going to have to do. You have it backwards. He is not good enough for you. You were honest with him. He is the one breaking vows and acting like a complete douche. Don't you ever tell yourself you weren't good enough again. He is the failure here. Can't imagine how you must feel, and I am so sorry you are going through this. I know it's difficult, but you need to screenshot those texts. Pack your bags and get out. Get out before you allow him to hurt you any more than he already has. You deserve better. It's going to hurt like hell, but you know you have to leave him. There's no rebuilding trust after reading words like that. Get the screenshots and get a lawyer. Stay with family or friends. Cut him off and speak only through a lawyer. Take every last cent from him that you can. Fight for full custody. Don't look back. You know deep down that you deserve love, respect, trust, and stability from your husband. You know you shouldn't have to beg or fight for his attention and respect. Remember that when you feel like going back to him, that's a normal feeling, but you have to fight it with everything you have. It's over. He made that decision for you both. See if you can get screenshots and send them to yourself. I don't see this ending any other way but divorce. There is nothing wrong with you, and everything wrong with him. You can and will find someone else. He clearly plans to be absent regardless. At least you can get rid of the burden of keeping his disloyal, disgusting ass around. My 15M stepmom grounded me because I slept in the same bed as my stepsister. 11F. My parents are divorced and I live with my dad who remarried. My stepmom has a daughter who's 11 this year. I'm 15. Yesterday my stepsister came into my room in the middle of the night because she had a nightmare and she was scared to be left alone in her room. So I told her that she could sleep in my room and that's what she did. We were laying side by side but we didn't touch each other, to be clear. In the morning my stepmom came into my room and she saw us sleeping in the same bed and she completely lost her mind. She started yelling at me and at the same time asking my stepsister if I touched her inappropriately. My stepsister started crying because she got scared and that's probably why my stepmom assumed I sexually assaulted her, so she got even more hysterical. I told her that I didn't touch her at all and that she only slept beside me because she had a nightmare, but my stepmom said I was disgusting for coming up with excuses and that I would be grounded until she figures out what to do next. After my stepsister calmed down, she confirmed my story and my stepmom said that she'd still be grounding me because it was still inappropriate. I think she doesn't believe our story. My stepmom wouldn't listen to anything I say. She told my dad about this and my dad said that he didn't see what was wrong with us sleeping in the same bed for one night and they got into a huge fight. At the end of the day I'm still grounded and my stepmom's ignoring me, so yeah, she's still mad. I'd what to do now. I'm scared she'll call the police or something. I don't know. I know my stepsister will say I didn't do anything to her, but still, I don't want to get into any trouble or have any complications. Any advice? Question mark. Talk to your dad. Tell him it makes you uncomfortable that your stepmom is accusing you of this. Explain what happened and ask what you should do the next time it happens. I would talk to him in private, not around your stepmom. What a severe reaction. In all honesty, your stepmom could have been sexually abused or had similar trauma as a child. She seems very triggered. Talk to your father, and if your mom is in your life, notify her too, because you need someone to advocate for you and ensure you're not put in this predicament again. Looking at this from a different perspective, I was touched inappropriately as a young girl while sharing a bed with my older stepsister and another time by a friend during a slumber party. I'm much older now and don't want my daughter sharing a bed with anyone, not friends, cousins, etc. Sometimes we are humans with baggage and overreact to situations because of our own painful experiences. I'm sorry you were caught in the middle of this by simply trying to be kind to a scared younger child. Tell your father that grounding is a tiny symbol of what's at play. He brought someone into your home that views you as a sex offender. He placed her in a position of authority over you. She has the power to ruin your life. You're now living in well-founded fear. The quality of your home life has tanked. She harmed you profoundly. Speak to your school counselor about strategies for protecting yourself. Confide in your grandparents and mother's side if they are trustworthy. Preempt escalation and further accusations. You shouldn't have to navigate this. You sound like a conscientious kid. Sorry, dude. So I am your stepmom's age and I have a very young child as well as a stepchild who is right at the age where they're discovering and starting to explore their sexuality. As I parent, I have to be aware of the fact that most sexual abuse of minors occurs in the home, or originates from people they are familiar with. I also have to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and not see shadows where they don't exist. It's a really fine and difficult line to walk, and you have to face extremely uncomfortable things to strike the right balance. You have to do a lot of delicate work with young children so that they're empowered to come to you with problems, yet avoid clouding their childhood with suspicions. From your stepmother's reaction, it may very well be that sexual abuse happened to her when she was her daughter's age, or it may be that she hasn't yet done the mental work to both be aware of the danger of inter-family sexual abuse and also be committed to perceiving everyone as innocent until given cause to think otherwise. My advice to you is to continue talking to your father, and continue to act normal, responsible, and as mature as possible, since your stepmom is not currently able, for any number of valid reasons, to face this maturely. I ran this situation by my husband, and he also adds that unfortunately, and especially now that you're confronted with your stepmom's mindset, you need to be ruthless in protecting yourself from any appearance of impropriety. It may feel like you're being heartless toward your stepsister, but you need to put yourself and your safety from accusations at the forefront of your behavior. so sorry for you. You did nothing wrong in this situation. Try to talk with your dad. I've changed, and don't think we're a good fit anymore. So, 40F, been with my fiance, 46 meters, for 4 years. We were planning a wedding for this summer, which got rescheduled due to COVID. Well, it's supposed to happen this coming spring. Lately though, I've been feeling like I dodged a bullet. Now, he's really a sweet person. Truly. But it feels like we're such a mismatch now. Neither of us are perfect, but I've really been working to improve my prospects with education, training, therapy and exercise. He is still the exact same guy for the large part. In the beginning it was totally cool he was a couch potato, because so was I. But now, I'm getting involved in activities that really add to my quality of life, and he has no interest in it, and gets so frustrated when I don't want to just sit home all the time and watch TV with him. If we do go out, he only wants to go to a restaurant, and then come home to watch a movie. If I want to go for a hike, it's alone. If I want to go to the library, it's alone. Church, same thing. And even with the restaurants, if it isn't deep fried, he's not going. Plus, the way he insists on eating is causing health problems that make our sex life non-existent. He won't see a doctor or anyone that could help. I just don't know. He won't do counseling and resists any change. We used to be a good fit, but I've changed. Honestly, I just want to be single again. Am I being a horrible person? You're not a horrible person, and neither is he. He's set in his ways, and so are you. It sounds like you two aren't compatible anymore. You used to be, but you've changed. Regardless of how you got here, you are here. You should end the engagement, at the least, and end the relationship barring some major shift in his attitude toward self-improvement. I think the reason you feel bad is because you think he's not good enough for you, and you feel bad that you think that way. Horrible person for improving yourself? Nope. You need to be transparent about this with him, though. And now, don't wait until the last minute. And don't expect him to change. If he chooses to, great. But don't make demands of him. He is the same person he was when you got together. You are not, and that's perfectly fine. It's time to end things, I think. Rip the band-aid off and start your new life. And let him move on to find someone who is okay with him being who he is at this very moment. You're not being horrible, people change and that's alright. Sounds like you were depressed when you first started dating and then you got out of that funk. That's alright, maybe you should talk to him and say, hey, I don't think I want to marry you anymore, and explain your feelings. Some people are also just stuck in their ways, and if you don't think it's gonna work out, it's best to cut your losses. I was seriously depressed, and I was done with feeling that way. I had to make changes. He's really very contented with his life the way it is. You're definitely not being a horrible person. People change and end up not being a great match for their partner. And I think it's especially true that people are growing and changing due to COVID and the rest of 2020. There's no shame in outgrowing a partner, and it doesn't mean either of you did something wrong. It sounds like you're working really hard to improve your life and want someone to match that energy, which is more than understandable. No shame in doing what's best for you, your well-being, and your happiness. So congrats on making so many positive life changes. That's amazing.